One of the rules earlier in the dressing room, obey my commands. Trunks are a little high on both of you, so I'm not going to call them right on the line. Touch them up. Suerte, combate.
Junto Nakatani moving up in weight to challenge himself against Alexandro Santiago. Round one.
You know, and you see that long body, long torso, very wide stance, which is always interesting to me that Nakatani can get the power that he gets, even though he fights out of that wide stance the way he is.
Nakatani uses the right hand to blind his opponents, and it's that long left hand, sometimes to the head, sometimes to the body. We saw him throw it there.
New weight class. Santiago's not known as a puncher, but he is a physically bigger man. He's been in this weight class for.
And just in terms of sheer grit and determination, his wife and kid were in danger there. They got out okay, but that wasn't easy to deal with.
No, he was cut over both eyes in that fight. Took some big power from Junto, who's got legendary power early on, but.
And we see Nakatani there at distance. So many times we see tall, long fighters not taking advantage of those assets. Nakatani is doing so.
Oh no, he's a master at range. He likes to stay on the outside, keep you busy with that lead hand, and then as you step over that critical distance line, he likes to fire that big left hand, whether it be a straight left hand or an uppercut, which we just saw there.
WBC 世界バンタム級チャンピオンアレハンドロ戦歴でございました。ラウンド2。
Rudy Hernandez said Nakatani's always been an extremely disciplined fighter, always wanted both fighters hungry with determination and will, and that's why they've reached this position. Nakatani listed at 5'8", Santiago at 5'3". Nakatani with the 69 1/4 inch reach, Santiago with the 65.5. So it is going to be a stark difference in this fight. But Chris, as you mentioned, this is Santiago's weight class, right? He's comfortable at this weight, and this is the first time
that he draws a line in the sand, and then as you cross that critical distance line, he'll let that left hand go like that.
Lightning fast left hand, but he uses the right to blind you, so it makes it all that more tough to defend against it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see him landing that jab over the top consistently. Boom, and he puts that left hand right behind it. Lightning quick. I don't know how, because of the Maloney fight, he couldn't miss.
And that's going to be Alexandro Santiago's challenge here tonight, with 20 seconds to go in round two.
Good short left hand right down the middle, splits the guard of Santiago.
And so far, Chris, it's been Santiago trying to get inside close distance. Big right hand there lands for Santiago, and another one. Just as we were talking about what he was trying to do, he had success getting on the inside and throwing the right hand. And it took him almost all of 2 rounds to finally get inside, but when he did so, he made Nakatani pay.
Yeah, those are big shots, very clean. And that's really what Santiago's going to have to do tonight. He's going to have to take a risk to get inside, close that distance, and land shots like that. He's going to have to punch wits
in this fight.
Round 3.
Interesting little interaction there between Nakatani and Rudy Hernandez. They were smiling at the end of the break to round number. Just get hit with some big shots.
Right hand, that lead hand out there, almost like a rangefinder, sometimes throwing it, sometimes not, but just keeping it out there to bother.
You see him setting it up. That's why his feet are so wide. He puts a lot of weight on that back foot to unleash that left hand.
And sometimes watching tape on Nakatani, you see him throw the jab and then the left hand, but then other times he'll double up on the jab. That changes the timing, and then a fighter on the other side is not ready for the left hand because it comes a second later than you're expecting it to.
With that punch you don't see. But Santiago's super tough. You're going to have to catch him with something that he's not aware of.
But should Santiago try to ride that momentum and do the same thing he did at the end of round 2?
What Santiago needs to do is he needs to deceptively close distance, get himself to a position where step back and be able to counter. That big left hand over the top catches.
Left hand and the reach of Nakatani. That big left hand over the top. And there it is again. Nakatani now finding a home for the left hand.
That's the thing, when Nakatani wants to go forward, he can be very explosive. Comes through with that 1-2. Now we got blood over the eye in the fight against Junto Nakatani, his last fight 7 months ago.
We saw the cut open up, and that's part of the way that he fights, with will and determination.
You know, we spoke about that uppercut the last 2 rounds. There was a beautiful one. There was that overhand left. I thought that was the punch that may have caused the cut, but it doesn't seem like it was.
Have been draws. Now, he's been unlucky in some, but that just speaks to how tough of a competitor he is. He's always in a fight, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, we saw that in the Donaire fight. You know, he started a little bit slow. Donaire was very successful early, but Santiago roared back in the second half of the fight. That competitive nature showed itself, and he ended up getting the win.
And veteran referee Laurence Cole is taking Santiago to his corner to rub that Vaseline in. It looks like, Chris, they were trying to just keep it on the cut, but he wants them to rub it in there.
Yeah, they really globbed it over there, and that could be trouble because it can get in your eye. You can fall on the mat and make it more slippery. But really what the cutman's trying to do is he's trying to get that medicine in there so you can cover it with the Vaseline so that adrenaline can get to work closing up those blood vessels.
Left hand gets through again for Nakatani. And that time it was more in the looping fashion. So that just adds another variable to Nakatani's attack. Sometimes that left hand is straight, sometimes it's looping, and you really never know. And of course the Maloney fight, which we showed highlights of, that was the looping left hand where he knocked out Maloney in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, we saw there, as soon as he threw that looping shot, he got into dangerously close. I gotta stay straight for now. Good right hand from Santiago over the top as Nakatani throws the left uppercut from too far away.
And it seemed like Santiago had success with that right hand because it was a lead right hand, right? Usually, sometimes you set up the power shot with the jab, but that time it was a lead, so it caught Nakatani by surprise.
Yeah, Santiago is starting to realize that he has to punch with Nakatani because of his control of the range. So as Nakatani steps in to try and hit him, he's got to throw with him. The problem with that is he opens himself up.
Junto Nakatani working the jab, working at distance.
You know, you're keeping the distance really well, but you don't want to throw everything coming from the same trajectory. Changing height, changing levels, very, very smart. Because again, you gotta think that Santiago is going to be anticipating these punches.
To fight Junto Nakatani, he threw that three-punch combination, as you mentioned, Chris, and then moved out of distance because of his height and his length. He moved away, and Santiago was unable to counter in any way.
A lot of it has to do with his balance. He doesn't get over his front foot, so he's always in balance, always in position to take a half step back and be out of range. Hit you and don't be hit. That's what boxing is all about.
Junto Nakatani, 40-36, so a huge advantage. We've seen moments for Santiago. At the end of round 2, he was able to get inside. But a lot of this fight has been Junto Nakatani working the jab at distance and following it up with power shots.
Yeah, at this range, you're just not going to beat Nakatani. He is a master at keeping the distance, throwing those long punches. He's got the height and the reach advantage. He can do this all night long. Clash of heads there.
And with everything we've said, continuing this fight without at least trying other tactics, trying to get inside.
So, you know, it's going to be more than just trying. I mean, nobody wants to leave their belt. Ooh, good shots there from Nakatani as he backs Santiago up. Ooh, good combinations, letting those hands fly.
Sweeping the opening rounds and now putting on a show in round 5. Combinations, quickness, movement. Left hands upstairs, seemingly unanswered.
Santiago was frozen there for a moment. He wasn't sure where the punches were coming from. Ooh, good body shots. Good left uppercut to the liver side of Santiago as Nakatani stops on a dime and fires that left hand.
And it looks like a cut has also opened up on the other eye of Santiago, on the left side as well.
Oh, I thought maybe bloody nose. No, nothing. No.
Boom, there's that body shot that I was talking about. Stops on a die-in and then rips a left uppercut right to the liver side. Santiago took that well because that was right on the money. Beautifully timed shot, though. And there's that overhand jab, that 1-2-1 combination, followed with a lead. You're able to let your hands go in combination. And we're starting to see that more and more from Nakatani as these rounds wear on. And he's starting to disarm the champion, Santiago.
Round 6 underway on our Bantamweight Championship fight. Karan Bhatia on the call, joined by former world champion Chris Algieri. Junto Nakatani, the challenger in the white gloves. Alexandro Santiago with the black gloves.
Looking to no avail so far here in round.
Oh! Huge left hand by Nakatani drops the champion, Alexandro Santiago, in round 6.
You know, I'd mentioned multiple times he was going to have to hit the champion with a shot that he didn't see or anticipate. Santiago did not see that punch. Catches him on the point of the chin, put him down.
And here comes Junto Nakatani. Right hand, down goes Santiago again. This time it was the right hook that caused damage to drop Santiago for the second time.
I think the corner stopped it. Yep, that's it.
That's the end of the fight. Junto Nakatani, the challenger, now champion at Bantamweight with a 6th round TKO win over Alexandro Santiago.
But once he dialed in and started letting those hands go, Santiago just looked lost. And that first knockdown, I don't believe he ever recovered from that shot. He didn't see the left hand that dropped him. Beautiful shot right in the chin. Got up on unsteady legs, and Nakatani followed up, got him out of there. Fantastic work from Nakatani.